So we've known for a long time, Jan, on the medical side that we have things called placebo effects that, if we believe something is going to work for us, then therefore it will. And if we believe in a certain thing, then, we kind of go down those paths. And so motivation is really important, I think, from the standpoint of healthcare, from believing that we can get better, that there is healing, that there is another side to the coin besides, going through something. So how would you approach someone today in our mindset of the last couple of years on getting out of their rut and making a healthier change for their lifestyle and overall health?
That's a big one. So I'm teaching a class right now called Self-Image Mastery. And let me just give you an example. I want you to think about something really, really sad right now. I mean, think about something really sad, like, I don't know, maybe you had a puppy that died, or, well, no, let's not go into Ukraine. But think of something really, really sad, and how does that make you feel inside? And then think of something now really, really happy, something that really brings you joy, and how does that make you feel inside? Okay. So I believe that where your focus goes, there your energy flows. And so if I'm focusing on, oh my gosh, this is going to be so awful, and I believe this is going to be bad, that's what you're going to get. It's all back to that law of attraction thing. But if you think this is going to be not a big deal, it's going to be really fun, you're going to have a great time, that's what you're going to get. So if you believe as a person, if I believe that, okay, I'm 70, oh man, I'm kind of old right now, and most 70-year-olds, that's what I'm going to get. So we don't get motivated by thinking about it. We get motivated by doing. That's when the motivation comes, is within the doing. And I'll give you a story. I was training a lady who was, I think she was 68 at the time, and she was very weak. And so I was going into her house and teaching her how to lift weights, just from her home. And we did this for 2 years, and she had her 70th birthday. And I went over to her house, and she said, I'm just going to stop right now. And I was like, why are you going to stop? You've gotten so much of your health, so much of your strength back. You can walk through the zoo with your whole family, and you weren't able to walk through the zoo before. And she said, well, I'm 70. I've had a really good life, and my friends think what I'm doing is silly. So she dropped it. She was making huge strides. She could walk further. She was so excited because she could shop forever. And that was one of the things that she loved to do. But she just the mindset shifted when she hit 70. It was like 70 was, okay, you're done. So did that answer the question like in a roundabout way?
Yeah, it doesn't. So I just want to speak to that so what's the motivation behind her friends saying that she's wasting her time? Were her friends her same age?
Yeah. I think what happens is well-meaning people make remarks all through our lives, and they don't realize that these remarks really can impact us if we're not strong enough in our self-image. And so when they made those remarks about how stupid that was, she couldn't stand up to that, or she didn't want to stand up to that, or she didn't believe she could stand up to that. And so I don't know. I think that's what happens.
Wow.
That's a very good point, because I think sometimes we don't realize how we feed into other people's lives in negative ways. And sometimes we have to learn to decipher what is a good thing, or maybe motivate us. Maybe, hey, I think maybe she didn't have the strength, but, she could have flipped it and said, why don't you join me? Why don't you see why this is so good, So, I mean, there's two sides to that one too.
Yeah. And like it all starts up here.
Yeah. Sure. Well, and just like,
go ahead.
Yeah, well, just like you were saying too, with, we are, it's going to be how we think. And I know there are people that, I mean, they literally get out of bed in the morning and they think it's going to be a horrible day. And you know what I tell them? You're right. If you think it's going to be a horrible day, you are right. It's going to be a horrible day. But if you get up and say, this is going to be a great day, then you're also right. So you have to just learn to train yourself that, you know, to be optimistic and to be positive.